All right, so this is probably going to be our last update of the winter sowing jugs. So as you can see, they're very tiny. This is all salvia. This is some zinnia. And we are going to take them out even though they don't have much growth on them. We're going to take them out of the jugs and we're going to pot them into these little cells. Not because they're ready, but because they're burning up in the jugs. It just gets too hot around here. And so they germinated and they looked like they were doing great, and then they just kind of stopped growing and started looking like they were in a lot of distress, especially this Mojave purple salvia. So we're going to try to do that, and hopefully we can salvage at least where the seed has germinated, and maybe we can get them put out into the yard. All right, I'm just going to show y'all like one of these because our neighbor decided to cut the grass right when I started to do this project. But I love this little tool. It comes from Fixin, and you've seen me use it. It's the shovel, and then this slides into the handle of it. But I love just this little piece. It's got a pick at the end of it and the little paddle on the other side. And so what I do is I just kind of put it down in there. I've just filled this with potting soil. I just make like a little tunnel. Probably gonna need some more here on the corner. And then I come over to my jug here, and I just kind of shovel out the little seedling, and I try to keep as much of it together as I possibly can. Just come over here and just kind of press it gently into the cell. Sorry if that's not clear. We'll do another one. Make sure the root got down in there. I'm just gonna press it lightly around and it's good to go. And then we'll mist these in, make sure they're good and watered, and I'm actually going to give them a little bit of fertilizer as well. All right, so we have them all in little cell packs of the ones that I decided to try to pot up. So we have gomphrena in the front, we have some zinnia, we've got some salvia. All right, so over here, this is Dusty Miller. I put out some little bitty plugs. They probably weren't much bigger than these on the other side, maybe a little bit more. And of course the squirrels or rabbits right away dug them up. And so I went ahead and potted these up, and they are really doing so much better. And this is probably more a sizable plant that you would want to put out into your garden beds, probably nothing smaller than that. And then back here, I'm not sure. It was weird. These look the smallest. This is Mojave purple salvia, and they look a lot smaller to me than even the summer jewel beside it. But they had a better root system on them than the summer jewel did. So I decided to go ahead and pot them up. I wasn't sure. I thought I was just going to trash them and say they didn't make it, but we'll see. You know, I've said it and I'll say it again. Gardening is a little bit of a science experiment, and you just try to see what will make it. And it is disappointing when things don't turn out the way that you want them to, but hopefully you learn something in the meanwhile. This across the back is the Twizzle Blue Penstemon. I didn't get a lot of germination on these, so I really wanted to make sure that they were viable to put into the landscape. So when I potted the Dusty Miller, I went ahead and did those Twizzle Blue at the same time. And again, they look so much better. So this is what I've learned from this, is that yes, winter sowing can be really great, and it can, it's not as much fuss, because now that they're in these cell trays, I am gonna have to make sure that I water them and feed them and just take care of them, which is a lot more effort, especially for someone like myself who doesn't have grow lights and a whole system set up in order to help the plants put on size quickly. But using the winter sowing method for us in this area, the temperature is kind of getting so high early on, and not really having a really mild spring we had more of a hot spring, and you know, isn't really the best for seedlings, especially when they're in these plastic containers. I think they just got way too hot. And then there's also not a lot of nutrients in that soil. Even though I was using a potting mix, maybe they need some fertilizer to help them really put on some size. So I went ahead and watered these all in. I probably won't give them fertilizer today. I'll probably wait a couple of days to give them some. I'll dilute it by half so that it's not too strong for these little seedlings, but we'll give them a little bit of energy to hopefully take off. Because what I really don't want to do is, because I have so many seedlings, I really don't want to do like I did with the delphinium, where I ended up just going and buying plants. I'd like to be able to actually use these this season, but that may not be the case, but that's my hope. Anyways, let me know, do y'all have these grow light systems? Do you try to winter sow or just use cell trays? What do y'all do? Or do you buy all of your plants that you put out into your landscape? That can be kind of expensive. So what is it that y'all do? I'd love to hear in the comments. Tell me like your success stories. I'd love to learn from y'all, and we will hope to see y'all real soon.